Yes, people, we are back. I am back. Welcome back to BBK Sports. I am here with my usual Waffle Don brother. And making his debut on BBK Sports is man like the man from the 90s mag, current winner, current holder of the EFL Cup of the English Premier League.
Talk
Big
to
up,
them.
bro. What you saying, D man? How are you, bro?
I'm all right, man. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me on, man. Been a long time. Been a long time overdue in it. So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
happy to be here, man. Happy to be here with you,
Yeah,
man.
man. Yeah, big up, man. But big up, brother Al. You got anything to say, Al, before we jump into it?
Yeah, man. I just texting my brother, man, because texting my guy about something else, man. But yeah, man, I'm here, innit? I'm here. I don't know, man. I've got mixed feelings, man, about this stream today, man. Not really feeling too great, to be honest, man. But it is what it is.
Yeah, big up to the assemble checking in. So I just read a story. Maybe it got lost in translation in the group chat because the group chat be on fire sometimes, and I don't even get to catch up, right? But I saw a story today, D man, that Grealish, Grealish,
Oh, behave.
Newcastle. What you saying?
No, bro. No,
Yeah,
no, no, no,
I saw
no.
it. It's
That's that.
trending.
That's a non-starter. That's garbage. Like, let's be honest. He's gonna ask for too much money. He's gonna love the Newcastle nightlife and them pubs and that. Nah, it's not. It's not something we can entertain, man. What he plays on? He plays what on the left?
Yeah.
We've got Gordon and Barnes, man. We don't need.
He can play in the 10. I think he played.
Yeah, he could play in the 10 as well, you know.
He can play in a 10, but does Eddie Howe play with a 10?
Maybe he wants to.
Well, if he wanted to, he would have got Madison a couple of years ago. He would have gone for another person last year. So I don't know. I'd like to see him play with a 10. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sure Grealish is the answer. But yeah, I don't think this one. I think that this is just media talk, media hype. Maybe
I remember he played. I remember he played left 8 for City, and he was cooking. And these were the times where City were, you know what I mean? They was in the mud and like
listen.
Like 8.
Yeah, the baller in there. Don't get me wrong. I rate him, but I just think I don't know. I just think
too much baggage.
Too much baggage, man. Too much baggage, and I don't think he's got that
motivation.
Yeah, that motivation, that love for the game anymore. I don't know. And also, Eddie Howe likes his workhorses as well. Like he hasn't got the energy. He doesn't strike me as someone who's got the energy to work in the Eddie Howe team. He's got the quality, but the application, I'm not so sure. But I like him, but I just don't think it's one we can even entertain, man.
Maybe he just needs to change the scenery, man. Maybe the way Pep has treated him will give him that hunger back that he had at Aston Villa.
Yeah, maybe he needs an arm around him. Maybe, and Eddie Howe does. He can motivate players and he can get the best out of players. But listen, either way, he's leaving Man City. He has to. He has to. I think he's played his last game for them. So
and this comment right here is one that's helped fuel the rumors that he is on his way to Newcastle that I was reading. Pep left him off the World Cup squad, and the press conference got a little testy. The reporters kept pressing Pep, and he started to bite back. So the story is not going away. It's not going away. But the thing you said there about Eddie Howe, he strikes me as because Eddie Howe has never been a manager to get what he wants like all the time. Like Bournemouth limited resources. You can't just get player X, player Y. So maybe even at Newcastle, he hasn't been able to get all the players that he wants. So maybe he wants to play with a 10 and just hadn't had the right profile that he wanted. Maybe he can make this work.
Maybe. And listen, now will be the time because he seems to have got a lot of control now that Paul Mitchell's been sacked. He seems to have the say on the transfers and stuff. So, and he openly said we've got money to spend. We haven't got PSR issues. So it's just the wages that he'd be asking for as well. Would he be willing to take a pay cut? I'm not so sure. Yeah, I don't know how much he's on at Villa, but he'd probably be more than anyone at Newcastle. And that ain't flying. That's not going to fly around here. So unless he would take a significant pay cut and buckle down, then like it's not impossible, but I just don't see it. I don't see it.
So who's your highest earner? Who's your highest earner?
Bruno at the moment.
What's
and
he
he's on? I think he's on like 150, 160 or something like that.
Right.
Not big money. We don't pay big money, man. We don't pay. So obviously, if Isak was to sign a new contract, he'd be on our highest earner, probably 200, maybe 200 plus. But I think Bruno's on like 170, 180, something like that. But nothing.
But you man got a whole country behind you,
yeah, man.
Oil money, and you're paying 150.
But you know what it is? We can't spend it. We've got the richest owners in the world, and we cannot spend that money. You know what I mean? This whole PSR debacle hindered us last season. Yes, we we've got more money to spend now, but we can't spend as much as we'd like. We should be able to spend billions. Yeah.
How come City can do it then? How come City can spend what they want every year?
This rule wasn't in play when City got taken over.
Yeah,
PSR. So they managed to cook the books and get their commercial revenue to a point. And remember, they've been successful over the last few seasons, so that revenue is growing and growing. You know what I mean? We're new to the game, so we haven't got much commercial revenue. It's increasing, but it's not where it needs to be at the moment. So, you know, it's we've got the handbrake on at the moment. One hand behind our back.
Yeah, so basically, like Newcastle got like a brand new debit card that don't have the pin.
Yeah, that's it. Card acted that. You know what I mean?
Access to money. I didn't know you man had like a wage structure like that. You know what I mean? Where Bruno or Isak is the highest earner. But I don't know, man. So Jack Grealish aside, yeah. Were you man actually in for Mbeumo, or it was just like would be nice to have? What did the club actually go after?
It's the same thing with Newcastle. Right? No official bid was made, but we were interested. I think we spoke to his camp and that. But this is what Newcastle do. They fart around. And show interest without pushing it forward. And other teams will come in, offer more money, and get him. Like he never rejected us because we never actually put an official offer. Right. But there was interest there. There was concrete interest there. And, obviously there's talk that he asked for too much money, but I don't believe that. And yeah, he's chosen Manchester United. And I think that's going to be, we've seen it before. We've seen it before when we've gone in for a player. And that's why Newcastle like to do it. They generally like to do their business on the quiet, because the moment their name's out there, either they get bumped with Newcastle tax because people don't think they've got money, or other clubs will see it and offer a bit more money to the player, or willing to pay a bit more money to the club, and they jump ahead of us. So it's look at the Tonali deal. Everyone thought he was in for is it Barella? Is that his name from Inter Milan?
Yeah, Barella.
That guy. Yeah, and we weren't in for him. We just went straight for Tonali because no one was looking at Tonali. We just got that. We've got that. Same with Bruno came out of nowhere. Botman came out of nowhere. Isak came out of nowhere. So the best deals that we do is not really the public. The media don't really know about it. The moment our names mentioned, we don't really stand a chance.
Yeah. Big up, Scants. Welcome, bro.
Big up, man.
So before you jumped in, we were talking about some Jack Grealish links to Newcastle. You think he'd be a fit over there?
I sort of agree with D, man, to be honest with you. It's like, where does he fit in the team? I know he's a good player. He sort of had the Maverick coached out of him by Pep. So
yeah, do
you want to take a broken Jack Grealish when you're trying to get on the up and move up the league and do well in the Champions League? So yeah, I don't think he's the sort of player who want to take a chance.
I mean, I think for Jack Grealish, like right now, Newcastle, it might be your best shot at playing Champions League football, unless you're going to leave England. Because I don't see any of the top 3-4 clubs that would go for him. You know what I mean?
Villa.
If you want
Villa maybe.
Yeah, but if he was Champions League football, didn't he?
I don't know. Yeah. The way they booed him, man. I don't think they want him back there.
They got PSR problems, though, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's what. Because they would have kept Rashford.
Exactly.
I think he's on or about the same money as Rashford, and they couldn't afford to keep him. So, it's one of them. But yeah, man, I think Mbeumo going to United, if it does happen,
will happen.
I think it's a good signing, man. Now from what I'm hearing, it's like the player says he wants to go to Man United.
It's a good signing. Does he fit their system though? Like, I don't know. They've got Cunha and Fernandes there. Like, are they going to play? Could they play wing backs? Yeah. So is he going to play at wing back?
Yeah, I think he'll put him up front.
Well, he's not a striker.
He can play up front though. Yeah, exactly.
He can't. He's not that effective up front. He can play there, but he's not really that effective. He's used to cutting inside and whatnot. Wissa, all right, fair enough. But Mbeumo, as an out-and-out striker, I'm not so sure, man. Cunha can do it. Cunha could do a better job up front than he can.
Yeah.
That one I get. Yeah. Cunha's played up front as well. He could play multiple positions, but I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. But you know, they seem to know what they're doing. They think they know what they're doing. So
I think it's better than what they've got though, because that's
Oh, yeah.
where Man United have been suffering in the forward position. So either way, that formation he plays with like the 2 10s
Mm.
and then like a lone striker. So couldn't and Burma probably playing one of the 10s, not as a lone striker.
Does that bench Ahmad though?
No, but he plays wing back though. He doesn't play no 10 positions. He plays a wing back.
Yeah, but
He's not a wing back. But I'm just saying that's where he's been.
Yeah,
that's where he's been playing. You get what I mean?
yeah.
Abs. We're on record as saying we would have Mbuemo at the Arsenal. You think he even looked at Arsenal or even considered us before he made his mind up for Man United? He is getting a hell of a pay rate.
It's hard to say, man. You know what I mean? It's like you don't know what his agent is looking. You don't know what his agent is looking for. Obviously, London. You know, I don't even think. You know what? I think we might have been interested in him because there was talk last. In December. Last transfer window, but the thing is with Arsenal is that they're interested in it. They're interested. You know what I mean? It's like they're taking out like a girl to a restaurant, you know, and they're doing all the talking, but no numbers getting exchanged. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and they're just talking, waffling. This is what I get from that situation with Mbeumo. I think we might have been interested slightly, but there weren't no concrete talks going on, you know, and that's why, you know. And Man United, you know what? And this is the thing about Man United as well, is that if they want a player, they don't mess about. The player either wants them or he doesn't want them, you know. But if 9 times out of 10, they usually get the player that they want.
But the thing is, though, I admire his output, though, because 20 goals a season in a team that averages less than 40% possession a game tells me that your chances are limited. He's going to get more chances than Man United. He would have gotten more chances at Arsenal, Newcastle, or Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? So 20 goals a season, we could see his input. And this is as high as his stock will ever be. Right? You score 20 goals a season for Brentford, so he has to strike while the iron is hot if he's going to go for a big payday. And if he's going to, go on.
Do you think Man United have scouted him properly though? Because Man United have a habit of, you know, they look about who other teams want, and offer that bit extra to the player, to the club, and it's get him. They did it with Sanchez, they did it with Maguire, they did it with Fred. You know what I mean? They got they just
Mount.
Mount. I don't know if they thought this one through properly. You know, I really don't.
Yeah,
but
and that's why they have a bunch of mismatched players. It's not even a management thing where this manager want that player. That's a good point. They have a lot of mismatched players, and this seems to be along those same lines where they play a 3-4-3 system, but he's not a wing back. You know, so the front three is going to be Cunha, Bruno, and someone else. You know what I mean? So if it's a midfield of him, if it's a front line of Mbeumo, Bruno, and Cunha, then you're gonna have Ugarte, or
they're gonna go for a striker. They have to. They're gonna go for a striker. It's gonna be a striker, Cunha, and Mbeumo.
Yeah.
If they're gonna play the three up front, or they're gonna have Cunha a bit further back because he can play left centre midfield and roam and stuff like that. But I don't know. It just seems a bit. I don't know. Something just tells me they haven't thought this one through. And nor is he, to be honest. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah. Big up to more sports world. Yeah, I mean it's on, but I don't put too much stock into this Nations League semifinal. I probably watch the final, but the semifinal I probably won't. You know, I don't have too much stock in there. The Assemble said Nunes, Jota, Rashford are available. Scamps.
Yeah.
Diogo Jota. I rate this dude highly. You know, barring his fitness record, I think he's a clinical finisher. You think Liverpool are giving up on him too early?
I wouldn't say giving up on him too early because his injury, like you said, his injury record for the last 2 years has been been poor. You can't even. But his last few injuries, you can't really blame him. Like the one he got against Chelsea was a fractured rib that turned out to be a punctured lung. So you can't really say he was injury prone that one. And the one before that, someone else, I think the Brentford one, someone fell on his knee and he done his knee. So he is the best finisher. I don't think we'll sell him and Nunes. I think we'll sell Nunes will definitely go. But I think we possibly keep Jota as the backup striker.
What you doing with Diaz? I heard he's linked to move away.
Yeah, I think that's just paper talk because there's quite a few mentions today. Like Liverpool journalists come out and said basically Liverpool not looking to sell him and looking to offer him a new contract. But I reckon if a certain fee comes in, they'll sell him.
So
what's the fee?
Yeah.
if Saudi are offering 70 million for him, they'll sell him.
So if Diaz goes, you have to get another striker, right?
Yeah.
Or you're gonna just
Yeah.
Because
I think we get a striker anyway. Once Nunes goes, we'll definitely go for a striker anyway.
It just seems like you're kind of left side heavy. You know what I'm saying? With Gakpo and Jota can play there and Diaz. You know.
Someone's gonna go though. Someone's gonna.
Yeah, I'm thinking that
Diaz is out the door already.
Diaz ain't go. Diaz won't go unless we get the right price.
You're saying Gakpo to Bayern.
Gakpo's that's already been squashed as well. That's just Bayern trying to get back at us because we took Wirtz off him.
But wasn't Diaz saying bye already? No, Scans. Diaz is already.
That's what I'm saying. But today, like the Liverpool journalist who's like in the know came out and said basically Liverpool not looking to sell it.
Oh,
they could looking to offer him a new contract, but obviously, I reckon if the Saudis come in with 75 million, Liverpool will sell it because that will turn the profit.
Yeah,
it's at the moment. There's no cost to us. He's got 2 years left on his contract, and he's only on 55 grand a week. So us keeping him, it's not a hassle. You get what I mean?
He's on 55 grand a week.
Yep.
Bro,
so all this talk about what's it called, saying goodbyes and stuff, that's a strategy to get more money. Because a Colombian journalist came out and said that he's not looking to go, he's looking for to sign another deal for Liverpool on more money. Yeah. So like I said, Liverpool just they slot likes him. So I don't think he'll go. He likes to use him as a false nine. So like I said, unless we get a good deal for him, he'll be staying.
Yeah. So what's the deal with this hold up, man? With this Wirtz deal? It seems like
he's playing today. He's playing today, and I think what it is just basically how it's being paid out. I think that's what it is. It's an actual pay structure. I think the fees and everything's agreed. It's like how it's being paid out.
What do you think the fee is?
I think it's going to be about 120. I reckon.
Euros or pounds?
Pounds. Like with all the add-ons.
Yeah.
Why you say that? Why you say that like that, D-Man?
Because that's a lot of money to pay.
He's been the best player in Germany this year, bro.
I don't care.
It's not.
I don't care.
It's not. If you think about it, D-Man, it's the market now. Ever since Chelsea paid them 100 million for Enzo and Caicedo, that's the going rate for players.
But
honestly, like think about it. If you think about it, before them deals.
Yeah.
How many midfielders are going for that sort of price?
No, not many.
How much did you pay for Tonali?
What, 55, 60, something like that?
This is what I'm saying. But as soon as Enzo went for 100 million, look at Rice. Rice went for 100. Rice went for 100. Caicedo went for 100. You get what I mean? Like before that, you didn't see these sort of prices.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
At the end of the day, Liverpool only pay out for players what they see is going to benefit us. You get what I mean?
No, I hear it. You feel it's going to benefit you.
That's what I'm saying. Like Van Dijk, like everyone's saying, oh, that's a lot of money for Van Dijk.
But who was your last big money signing?
Nunes.
But that's not this lot. That's not Edwards. That's not the data boys. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I hear it. I hear
I
it.
You
think
see what I
Wirtz
mean?
is serious, bro. I think Wirtz is a serious baller, bro. I
He's a
know
baller.
maybe it's over, maybe slightly over, but I think he's a serious player.
Because
Bro.
I heard from the group chat that originally he ain't going to pay more than 100 million. So now it's gone to 120. No, okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
from what I
That's the way
heard,
it
is
goes,
that
but
Leverkusen want more.
Because I said you'd pay more than 100, and I was told nope.
No,
we,
but that's
we
no.
don't we don't have to do the deal with that.
Because
but-
when it first said, they said it was what's it called? It's only 120 for Bayern. That's what they.
No.
But
I heard in the group. I heard in the group chat. Liverpool
exactly
yeah.
because of what they said. They said
And
Bayern
I said,
was
and
only
I
paying.
said, and I said that's not the case. I said you.
But
will
it's like
end
in the
up
group.
paying
It's like in the
100
group
million.
chat. You said that you don't see what's it called? Is that going? But today it was a different story, isn't it? Things change.
No, but that's not a fact, though, is it? That's not a fact. You have
No. I'm
the
saying
fact of the matter is,
no. I said something right,
Yeah.
and things have changed. The same way that today, someone could put in the group chat, and you're all of a
No,
sudden
it's a bit different between before we say it. No, because I've also said if it's 150 million, then maybe you could go. Isak, I'm talking. Yeah, I've always said that. For 150 million,
it
and
won't be 100.
exactly.
It won't be
That's what I've been hearing. It
100.
won't be. It ain't 100.
150
So,
million, but you're getting nervous. It's
I've
okay,
been,
man.
I've been more right with fees, innit? I've been more right with fees with like the first one. Yeah. So take my word for it. 150 million or nothing. Yeah.
Right, we'll see it. We'll see
see.
where Liverpool
We'll
test
see.
the water. The money's
Well, after
there.
you pay 100, after you pay 120 million for
The
that,
money's there.
you don't ball like that.
Yeah.
You don't. All right.
You don't ball like that.
All right.
120 on him because he automatically becomes the highest paid Premier or the most expensive Premier League player ever.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a hell of a price tag to take, you know, to carry.
Yeah.
It's not. But that's no. What's it called? That's when like all the add-ons, the actual fee's not going to be that straight away.
He
Yeah.
don't. So we're saying
That's-
he's not going to meet the objectives. He's not going to meet it.
It might not.
So hold on. Let me ask you.
That's what they're fighting for at the moment. Isn't it? They're fighting for achievable objectives. That's
Let
where.
me
that's
ask
where
you
the
something
hold is.
then. Let me ask you, man, something then. So if Wirtz comes in, yeah, and they win like a, I don't know, Champions League or Premier League, yeah, is that money well spent?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Depends how
Of
he
course.
performs, no?
Of course it is.
I'd say so.
No.
Well, if he performs to get these men to
No,
the
if he
promised
does,
land,
yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. But if they win the Champions League and he scores 3 goals a season, he ain't done his job.
I mean,
It's not just goals; it's assists as well.
All right, 3 goals and 4 assists.
yeah, that's a very
money
low
well,
bar.
money well
That's not-
spent.
That's
But
not
the
money
thing
well
is-
spent, bro. That's
But
not.
the thing is, no,
Because you could have done it right.
no, but it's not just on the football field where money's going to come involved, is it?
shirt
Oh,
sales.
we're not. Yeah, we're
He's
not
a he's a
doing that.
face of Germany. No, you mean not
We're-
doing that? You're
No,
saying
we're
you're saying
talking
it's not
about
worth
on the
the money.
pitch, bro. As football fans, we ain't accountants out here, brother. Football
I'm not
fans,
saying they're
yeah?
accountants.
The football fans, we want to see a return on our investment. No,
But no one's actually argued the fact that why he isn't worth 120 million.
No,
Why
I'm
isn't he
not-
worth 120?
no, I'm not saying he's not worth it. I'm just saying it's a lot of money to spend.
Yeah, but what is, bro? This is football, bro.
Listen, any player is worth what the selling club value him at. Yeah. So in that respect, I get it. But
So in comparison to other midfielders right now that you would say, yeah, like a Musiala or whoever, who is on Wirtz's level, maybe a Cherky, would you say?
he plays in France. I'm not really sure.
Who else is on that type of Wirtz level right now? There's not many players, I would think.
No, there's not many midfielders because obviously he plays in the 10, doesn't he? He plays in the 10. He can play.
Yeah.
Could play in multiple positions, in it. So
Yeah,
I don't
as
really
well.
know too many.
Yeah.
Of that level.
But Scants, I gotta ask. So you signed the biggest.
Obviously, Lamine Yamal, by the way.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
he's got left wing in it.
Yeah, Doué, obviously.
And Billy.
Dembele, yeah.
But you signed this player, Scants, and so your midfield that won you the Premier League, Szoboszlai,
Yeah.
McAllister, Gravenberch. Worst comes in, who's sitting?
Probably Szoboszlai, maybe, possibly, or he may play him as a false 9.
Worst as a false
Yeah.
9.
I personally wouldn't, but that's what a lot of the talk is.
No, but you're getting a striker, no?
Yeah, we are. I think we're going to get a striker, but I'm saying in certain games, like if you look at the Man City game when we played them away, we didn't play with a striker. We played with 2 10s.
Mm.
So
But
there
you-
were certain games where he mixes the matches. There'll be
Yeah.
certain games where I think, right, we need Szoboszlai's running in midfield. So Verts may, like, I don't know, may go out wide. So you may drop Gakpo. Gakpo will be on the bench. Verts will play out on the left.
So Szoboszlai is the easy answer, isn't it? Because
It's the easy answer, but for me,
that's the easy answer.
Szoboszlai has already stayed as a slot. He said he doesn't like playing in the 10. He likes playing in the 8. So he could drop back into the 8. It all depends mix of the match for certain teams. I don't think there's going to be a set 3 like there was this year. I think Slot will mix and match for certain games, depending who we're playing.
B-Man, you want to take this one?
Are Newcastle in up Isak's contract? I think they'll offer him a new contract. Whether he signs it or not, I don't know, because I think there's still 2 or 3 years left on his contract. So I think there's 3 years left in the contract. So I personally believe he's going to stay one more season and bounce after that.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And even if they do renew his contract, they'll put a clause in there, release clause in there, lower than 150 million, and he can go next year.
Well, you love that 150 number, don't you?
Do you think you'll get that money though? That 130 next season. Say he doesn't have the
No, that's why I think they'll have the release clause of like 100, and
Yeah.
someone can get it for that.
They'll
Because
get it. They'll get it.
yeah,
I think
they'll get the 100
Did
next
they get it
season.
from either PSG or Barcelona?
Yeah, listen, PSG, they could come in for him. They could come in for him now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. But I personally believe, because we've got Champions League football, he should stay at least one more season. I think he stay one more season and he'll go after that.
Do you think his suits would be able to fit in that PSG side?
You know
And
what?
that's no disrespect to him. Like,
No.
I'm just talking about their style.
The style of play,
Yeah.
the way I saw them press on the weekend, he don't press like that. He can press, but he don't press like that.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That's no disrespect to Isak. I just don't think he suits him.
I think he
Like,
took Barcelona.
Barcelona, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Replacing Lewandowski, I could definitely see that, but I don't see him fitting in that PSG
And
side.
that's why I think he might wait a year, because Lewandowski at that age, for another year, he ain't going to be forming at that top level. So they could probably wait and then go for him next year in the summer.
I think Luis Enrique is tactically astute enough to fit one of the best strikers in the world in that attacking squad.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
think he
could,
is.
but I don't know. I just like D-Man said, that work rate of that front 3. I don't see him fitting in that side.
But you know what? They played like that against Inter because they know they could press Inter like that. They didn't play like that against us or you, man, because they
No,
know
they did.
But Liverpool
did play
played
that
their
against
press a
Liverpool.
couple of times.
No. What I'm saying that we did beat their press, but what I'm saying they did press, and like you said, they're doing that for 90 minutes. I can't see Isak doing that. He's not that type of striker. You get what I mean?
But here's why I think they wouldn't need like a striker, because they have a striker on the roster in Gonzalo Ramos. They just don't play.
Yeah.
A lot of those.
But he was injured though, wasn't he? He was injured, wasn't he, for a time? He broke his
He don't-
leg.
He
against us.
he don't get game time.
He don't rate him.
Yeah, they play
He
a false
don't rate
nine.
him.
So I'm
They'll
thinking,
sell him. I'll
the
take him
wing
at
play-
Newcastle.
Yeah, the wing play he can get from Kvaratskhelia and Dembele with Doué in the 10 or whoever. I think Isak would get 10 tap-ins. That's just tap-ins.
Oh yeah, he ball out there.
He get goals, but I don't think the formation and the pressing is not for him, man.
Yeah, but I think Barcelona is a better call for him though, because he's played in Spain before and he knows that league. PSV whole midfield is worse levels. Yeah, I mean I hear it, but it's just I don't know.
I wonder how much some of their midfielders cost now. Maybe not all 100, but they're going to be in the 70, 80s. Easy.
Yeah, that's a fact. Gakpo is a center forward. You agree, Scants?
Nah, he played there under Klopp, and it didn't. He's not physical enough, man. For someone his size, he don't use his size enough for me. He's a big guy, man.
Yeah. So your best lineup, say you sign Words, done deal.
Yeah.
Your best lineup, because we know, your right wing is good, and we know your back four and all that. But say Szoboszlai sits and it's gonna be Gravenberch, McAllister, and Words.
Yeah.
The other two positions is where it gets trickier between Gakpo and Diaz and whoever striker you're linked with. Because I'm
I
pretty
think
confident.
they've both done well this season. So I wouldn't knock either of them players starting on the left. To be honest with you, they both got what double digits GA this season. So I'm good with either of them starting.
Yeah, man. Brother Abs, you know, we look across the aisle, we see these men strengthening from the top of the league. You know, a third, second place finish, and you know, we're dragging our feet with the done deal. What we were told was a done deal in January. Do you, man, like as rivals, like looking outside looking in, do you, man, think the Zubimendi deal is
PR?
I told you, man.
I
This
said
brother
it in the
gets
group of time
homesick.
ago.
I told you
Not
that
even-
he gets homesick, bruv. Yeah?
I said it
This
from
brother
time
will
ago.
string you along to the final hurdle and talk about, yeah, I can't leave my beloved wherever he plays. Yeah,
The mountains. That's what we got told, man. The mountains.
Listen, or his wife or his family don't want to leave there. And listen, this guy, he's that this will be the third or fourth time he's done it. Yeah, why do people still try to get this brother? Yeah, it's rinse and repeat every time. Yeah, oh, he's coming. Oh, I got homesick. Oh, coming. I got homesick. Nah, man. I wouldn't be surprised if this deal falls through. Them comments that came out today or yesterday was with a disrespect to the whole.
Bare disrespect.
He's going Real Madrid, man. He's like, so the time what's it called from last year? I said he's going Real Madrid. As soon as I found out like Alonso weren't coming Liverpool, I was like, yeah, Alonso's going Real Madrid next season. He's going to play for his idol, his dad. You get what I mean? Because he coached him, innit? He coached him in the Sociedad, was it B team or something?
Yeah.
So, and he's always been his idol. So he's always going to go there, man. He's just hoping Alonso can convince the board for them to buy him.
I look at that Real Madrid midfield, man. They got Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Bellingham.
Perez, is it Al?
Valverde plays in the middle sometimes. You know, I'm not sure he breaks into that team. You know what I'm saying?
I can see one of them. I can see either Camavinga or Tchouaméni going. To be honest with you, Tchouaméni wasn't happy because he played a lot of centre back last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he wasn't very happy. So I can see one of them going.
But that was because Militao got injured, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had an ACL or something. You know, but yeah, the fact that the news broke right when we got bounced out of the FA Cup and right when we got out the Champions League, those were kind of worried. Two coincidences, you know. I don't really get it. You know.
And at the end of the season as well.
Yeah.
Right? End of the season saying he's doing his medical, and then he's coming out and saying, I don't believe it. I didn't take no medical.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Abs, we might have egg on our face again, bro. You know, more egg.
See, the thing is, I'm not. I'll tell you something now. Yeah, I've never invested my time to watch the Zubimendi guy. I don't know how good he is. All I've been hearing about is, do you know what? You know, some midget that's good in the air. Obviously, good defensive midfielder, but he's not someone. Even if we got over the line, I'll be just jumping up and down and being excited about. It's just another body, as far as I'm concerned. And if Partey leaves, then we're in a lot of trouble, because now our defense, and because Jorginho is leaving as well, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. So I want to know what Arsenal's backup plan is going to be if this Zubimendi guy doesn't come to Arsenal, which is not looking like. You know, who else are we in for now? Have you heard any names? Defensive midfield cover?
Nah, bro. We extended the contract of Sambi Lakanga for 12 months. That's what we did. Remember him?
Oh no! You telling me he's got to be?
That's the backup, bro. That's the backup. That's the emergency plan. You got your primary, you got your alternate, your contingency, and then your emergency. Right. So we're all the way down. It's a PACE plan. We call it the PACE. We're all the way to the E, to the emergency right now. But this comment right here, actually, I thought about this, you know, because bro, we 3 times finishing second. It's very unlikely that it will happen a 4th time. And based on how Liverpool and Man City are moving, the only way I'm comfortable moving in the table is up, right? But the way City and Liverpool are moving, it looks like we're moving down, and stay at second is stagnant, to say the best. I can see this happening, bro. I can see us being in the top 4, not a comfortable top 4 next year, like a slug it out. Like next year, we could be the Villa and the Newcastle slugging it out on Super Sunday for the final Champions League spot.
He's got to get sacked, mate. He's got to get sacked if that's the case.
I
Going
mean,
backwards is not the one.
because he can't run it. He can't just be like run it back with this squad. And it seems like that's what he's doing. It seems like he feels in his own head that if we didn't have injuries, we would have actually did something. He believes if we had Kai Havertz, we would have beaten PSG. I know
it wouldn't have made a difference. It really wouldn't have made a difference.
It would have.
No, I don't think he would. No, why, D-man? Because
No. I agree. I'm just saying, is it not an overreaction? The fact that, like, obviously we see what Liverpool are doing. You see what Man City are doing. The window's just opened. Yeah, there's plenty of time. So are we not? Because I'm in the same boat. Like Newcastle dragging the heels, but when you look at it objectively, the window's just opened, isn't it? Just because Man United signed a couple players and City and Liverpool did whatever, it doesn't mean that your club or my club are not going to sign any, because there is no way that Arsenal can go into the new season without a new striker. We know this. So they're going to get a striker. Yeah? And the Zubimendi deal, if that doesn't go through, they will have someone that they're looking at. But I think they're trying to extend Partey's contract anyway. But there's no way they're going to leave you lot short when you finish second 3 times in a row. It's not going to happen. So it's frustrating because you see what other people are doing. But when you look at it from an objective point of view, what, 2 days, 3 days the window's been open?
4.
You know what I mean? Just take a bit of time, man. Take a bit of time.
But the signings that they're linked with is basically trying to say that the squad's good enough, because everybody knows Gyökeres is better than Sesko. But he wants Sesko because he knows he'd be able to bench Sesko for Havertz.
Yep.
Where Gyökeres will come in Tsunami. I'm the gun man. I'm the number 9. I'm starting every game.
100%.
That's why he wants Sesko, because he's a young kid and he can control them. He's basically doing what Wenger used to do, isn't it? Wenger didn't used to like signing players over a certain age, isn't it?
But looking at the 2 players, who would you say suits their play more, Sesko or Gyökeres?
See, this argument. Sorry, D-man. This argument is irrelevant, and I'll tell you why it's irrelevant. Yeah, because a good coach can change your system. Yeah, for a gunman, it's more easier to change your system for a gunman than to bring in like a bloody apprentice YTS scheme or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, brother, that's going to lead the line, and then you don't know what he's going to do. This system rubbish, yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Nonsense, bro. Yeah, everyone's calling this brother a great coach. Yeah, everyone's calling this man a great coach. What? You can't change your system, yeah, for a gunman. So what was the plan for Isak then? If we were talking about Isak and bringing Isak,
but Isak suits Arsenal players as well. But Sesko scores goals, bro. He's not no idiot, bro. Sesko scores goals.
I'm not saying he is. But do you know what? If there's a difference, if there's a gunman, yeah, and there's Sesko, I want the gunman. It's
all right. But where does Sesko play? In Germany, innit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You do
plays in Portugal.
Yeah, but you do realize Sesko scored only 13 goals this year.
13 in 33 matches.
Mamouche has got more goals than him, and he left in January.
Yeah. His conversion rate is not great, bro. It's not.
But I get
what you mean. At least a 20 goal
I get what you mean saying Sesko's he suits Arsenal style, but he's basically his style's the same as Havertz, and Havertz is not putting the ball in the back of the net.
He's not.
So if you're getting a same player, what's the point?
No, but Sesko's a striker. Havertz has never been a striker.
No, but what I'm saying is there's the same frame. They play the same, like hold up, play this and that. It's exactly the same player.
Who finishes better? Who finishes better? Because you know Havertz misses the bare guilty chances.
But 13 goals this year says that he doesn't finish any better. You get what I mean?
If Havertz was fit, if Havertz was fit, he's probably scoring the same amount of goals or more than Sesko this season.
Moreno's a better finisher than Havertz.
All right.
A lot better finisher.
Yeah. But look at and I'm not saying Gyökeres is this guy, right? But look at Darwin Núñez, right? What he did for Benfica.
Yeah, but that was one season, D-man.
Did you see what Gyökeres done in the Champions League?
That's not in the
Huh?
Champions, in the Championship. Remember, he's played in the Championship and scored.
Yeah, but did you
20
see what he
goals.
done in the Champions League against City?
Yeah, but that's not a barometer. City been crap, bro.
It's not a barometer, but it shows you that he's got something here. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I rate Jokeris. I rate him. I do rate him, and I think he will score goals with every goal. But I'm just saying, for Arsenal, I can see why. Obviously, Scant said that, the reason why Arteta, the way he can handle him and that. But I just personally believe that he could score a lot of goals with Arsenal. I believe he could. Yeah. But where did Jokeris go?
Where does this belief come from? I just want to ask you what crosses into the box, headers.
No, but because he scored goals before, bro. All right, forget last season, but he has been scoring goals before. There was a time when he was the hottest thing in Europe. Yeah, so he's capable.
He's only 22, bro.
Yeah, I know he's only 22.
Yeah, you're talking when he was playing in for the other Red Bull, isn't it?
Yeah.
In Red Bull's
Salzburg. Yeah.
But that's the Austrian league, so it's like, can you put a value to that? No disrespect to the Austrian league, but can you put a volume to that? Say
game much better.
No,
better, but
yeah, but it's still. But what I'm saying is, Jokeris has done it in the Championship.
Yeah,
he's got
Yeah,
20 goals in
the
the
thing
Championship for Coventry as well. Not like one of the top sides in the Championship. He's playing for Coventry and got 20 plus goals. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and if I apply Premier League tax to that Bundesliga league, that 13 goals is probably 7 or 8. That's Kai Havertz numbers. That's not good enough. But if I apply that same Premier League tax to the Portuguese La Liga, 39 probably comes down to like 20-ish, 21, 22. That wins us the league, or that converts at least half of our 14 draws into wins. And I will also say this: it is an easier league to score in, but the fact he was 20 goals clear of the next closest striker in the Portuguese La Liga. The next leading scorer in the Portuguese La Liga was that guy from Benfica and another guy in his own team, both on 19. He was clear. I'll take my chances on the guy who.
I get it. I get it. Jokeris is the better striker. I do believe that.
And not just that. Who do you think? What's it called? Odegaard would be more prone to pass to. Who do you enjoy passing to more? Someone who's running onto the ball towards goal, or someone who's holding up play?
Yeah,
I hear that. Odegaard.
Do you get what I mean? Well, that as I've already said that as well. I think you should sell him because I think he's grown.
Sell him while you can, bro.
Yeah, he's outgrown Arsenal. The same way, like no, I think he's a good player. But you see how Jesus and Zinni are sort of like grown past the system now, and they basically and looking to replace him. Like obviously brought in MLS into the team and stuff. I think Odegaard's exact same, because if you look at the season, Odegaard's out injured. Saka still stepped up, still played well. Saka's out injured. Odegaard looked lost without Saka.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, but to answer this question, Nipper, big up to Nipper. Said, who sits if he comes to Arsenal? It's probably Moreno. Our midfield would be Zubimendi, Odegaard, and Declan Rice. That's how I would see it.
Yeah.
I'd see it. But yeah, man, I'll take my chances with Jokeres. Why not? Say sure many suits Arteta's 6 foot plus rule, but he's French, identifying he don't like the scout French. I don't know, man. But yeah, Jokeres for me. I agree with everything Scan says. I even think if Bertha overrules Arteta and say, you know what, I've seen your talent ID with strikers, I'm getting you Victor Jokeres instead of the striker you want. I think Arteta is vindictive.
Wow, Arteta's been.
Did I freeze there?
Yeah. Arteta's on the line, bro.
Don't speak on my name.
I think if Bertha gives him Jokeres instead of Sesko, he is bad-minded enough and narcissistic enough to sabotage him and say, I can't go out of position. Damn, my internet doing a madness.
You know the funny thing is as well, I just want to make this point, yeah? Right, Liverpool didn't win the league with, like a proper number 9, but people seem to forget that we're not Liverpool, yeah? Man City have a top striker. Newcastle have a top striker, yeah? Do you know what I'm saying, yeah? When you bring in a striker who's got a reputation, yeah, that brings fears to other defenses. You know what I'm saying, yeah? It's like every time I hear when Isak weren't playing against us, the last game, D-man, I was like, we're getting something out of this. If I knew Isak was playing against us that last, the last game we played, I'd be listen, bro. I knew that would have been a dubs by Newcastle. Yeah, I knew.
But it's interesting though. You mentioned Isak, right? When we bought Isak, how many goals did he score that season before in Spain?
Not many. Not many.
Like
About like
since
13,
9
14.
What, 12 in it?
Not a lot. Yeah. And many people thought, why do we spend all that money on Isak? He ain't prolific scorer. Da, 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 da. But like
True,
on
got him.
Eddie Howe improved him. Even listen, he had the ability, but Eddie Howe pulled it out of him, and he's now a prolific goal scorer. So it can be done.
Yeah, but you
When-
just said it
when-
there. You just said it there. Eddie Howe brought it out of him.
Yeah,
And
I suppose.
I know no disrespect to Arteta, but like BBK said, like his talent ID and his coaching's been poor for the last few years. He hasn't bought any attacking players.
Yep.
He's only bought defensive players.
Yeah.
Hence why they won the Golden Glove and conceded less goals. When it comes to attacking wise, what has he done? Like
Yeah.
look at it. Like everyone's saying, like all the Arsenal fans saying, "Oh, we had all these injuries." Most of your injuries are to defense, and you're able to cope with it because he's bought so many defenders.
Yeah.
But when it came to attacking wise, everyone said, "Oh, our front three's out." Whose fault's that? You didn't bring anybody in. You got rid of 4 attacking players in the summer. What's it called? Smith Rowe, Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, and who's the other one? Who's the last
Reece
one?
Nelson.
That's it, yeah. So you got rid of 4 of them and didn't replace them. All right, they may not have been good enough, but they're still good enough to be in your squad.
Yeah.
So when you have these injuries, you've got players there. It's like everyone's saying, "Oh, Liverpool didn't get injuries this season." We did get injuries this season. The difference is our squad players came in, and it just carried on the flow of the game. Alisson was out for 3 months. We had Kelleher in goal. We didn't miss him. Trent was out for 4 or 5 weeks. Bradley stepped in. Konate was out for 6 weeks. Joe Gomez stepped in. Bonza stepped in. So yeah, we did have our injuries, but our squad players stepped up. Arsenal didn't have their squad. Didn't have a squad. You went into the small squad this year. Was it 19 players you lot had?
Yeah.
That's your squad. It registers 25 players. So yeah, you had injuries, but that's down to poor management. He chose to get rid of players and not bring anybody in.
Yeah, definitely poor management. And big up to LFC Monster, another Liverpool champ. So big up to the panel. If Zubi goes and we lose Partey, how would you feel? I wouldn't like that. I need Partey for depth because Partey essentially now becomes our Jorginho, right? I remember Manchester City in the year that they beat Liverpool to the title. I think it was a 21-22 season when you scored 90. I think it was 91 points or 92 points that year. Manchester City in the title run-in in a must-win game away to Everton. Manchester City, their midfield was so deep they were able to bring Kevin De Bruyne off the bench, bro. They started Bernardo Silva, Rodri, and Gundogan. That's the kind of depth that we need for a 38-game season, and then 14, 15 Champions League games, and then 6, 7 FA Cup games. So if we let Partey go and sign Zubimendi next year, it will be the same excuses. The squad wasn't deep enough, running out of gas towards the end of the season. Gary says, no BBK, Sambi is a money situation. At least that's how I see it. Bertha is not letting players go for free who are worth something. Not a lot, but something. Edu would let him walk for free, bro. I forgot Sambi was on the books. Still, that's how many loans we have sent that young man. And that was a waste of 25 million of however many in Arteta's lack of talent. But Scans, you said Kelleher came in for Alisson when he was injured. But now Kelleher is gone, right? We went to Brentford, yeah?
Yeah.
So you need a backup goalie. Who are you looking at?
I've got our backup goalkeeper from last season.
Yeah, they got the Georgian guy.
The Georgian. Yeah, he bought him last season. The Georgian number 1.
Kelleher was your cup goalkeeper.
Yeah. But he only had a year left on his contract. And like I said, we bought a goalkeeper last summer.
He said he's coming for that number 1 spot.
Yeah.
He said he's coming for it.
Is he up to the levels?
He's a good goalkeeper.
The goalkeeper, man.
He's had a suspect season though.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, if you're going to Liverpool, like your head's turned, isn't it? So he's not going to come in as number 1, innit? He's going to be holding bench. Alisson's got another 3 years, so we can learn off Alisson the same way Kelleher did. That's what made Kelleher the goalkeeper he is, from learning off Alisson.
I mean, the fact that there's even a debate still over Sesko and Gyökeres tells me that the club doesn't have a clear vision of which one they want. I mean, Liverpool identified their targets and went and got them. I don't know what Newcastle got going on as far as identified targets. I'm inclined to think that even Newcastle will be getting their business done before we do. Because right now, the biggest need for Newcastle is what, right wing?
Yeah. Right wing and a support striker and a centre back.
You re-signed that, what's his name, didn't it?
Huh?
You re-signed that Callum Wilson, didn't you?
No. We've given him an option to like a pay as you play. But he's not going to be our backup striker. We're in for a decent striker. Wilson, if he wants to stay. Yeah.
They still do that. They still do those deals.
Them kind of it's an incentive-based contract.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, he can go. That's what we're saying. You can find another club or accept an incentive-based contract. Listen, now that Mitchell's gone, Eddie Howe might change the terms and offer him another contract extension. I don't know, but who knows? But we definitely need a second striker. I'm not on this Dominic Calvert-Lewin talk. Funny enough, there's quite a few Newcastle fans who want him. You know,
Raw, yeah.
he brings another option.
Verts just scored for Germany.
Wow. Has he got that Liverpool top underneath? Yeah.
He's playing the false nine for Germany. Now he's all over the place for Germany. It's like a false nine.
This is what I'm saying, yeah. People are saying, oh, like players ain't worth this and worth that. Man's gonna be from when he comes to Liverpool and he starts doing his thing, yeah, then people are gonna be like, oh, okay, I see. But sorry, D man, as you're saying about DCL.
No. I'm saying, listen, Dominic Calvert, like I said, quite a few Newcastle fans are like, yeah, he'd be a good option. There's a striker in there. Eddie Howe can improve him and bring something different. Nah, bro, he's garbage. He's garbage. Yeah. If I looked at his goal return, I think one season he scored like maybe 14 or 15 or something like that. Yeah. But other than that, nah. And he's not even injury prone anymore. He's playing games and just not scoring goals. Yeah.
You know why Newcastle fans like him? They probably remind him of Les Ferdinand because of that leap.
Oh, forget it.
No way, man.
Don't ever disrespect Sir Les.
No.
Sir Les, bro.
I like Ferdinand. What I'm saying is, you see how Ferdinand had that leap on him, like he used to leap like a salmon. Yeah. That's what Calvert-Lewin's like known for.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that's what I'm saying.
We don't cross the ball, and this ain't the 1990s. Yeah, we don't need that kind of negativity in our club anymore, man. We need a proper.
Why do you man buy Sesko? Because he can do all that hanging in the air and all them things there.
Yeah, but Sesko's not coming to play second striker, number 2, and that's the problem that we have. Who's decent enough that's going to be not happy, but accept the fact that they're going to be behind Isak for at least a season. Like,
that's the problem Liverpool have with Salah. When people always saying, you should get a backup for Salah. The guy's hardly ever injured. You ain't gonna go sit on the bench. You know this guy's gonna play like 38 games in the season.
Tottenham had the same issue with Kane. You look at the same issue with Saka. Like it's them things where there's very few players out there that's gonna be, either back themselves enough to say, okay, who's gonna back themselves and say I can compete with Isak?
Yeah, it's just true.
You know what I mean? It's just not happening. It's not.
Yeah, that's why I think re-signing Callum Wilson is actually a good thing. Because
because he's gone. His legs are gone. Yeah, his legs are gone. Yeah. One time he's injury free, his legs are gone. Other than that, he's on the hospital bed. Yeah. It's not.
He's good for the man them though, like to be around the like the youngsters.
But he's never around. When he's injured, he's never around. He's back in Bournemouth, bro. He's not around. You don't see him in the team photos when we're winning games and that. Nah, bro, he's not there. He's not there. What would be ideal, right? And this will never happen, right? But if you were to sign somebody like Jonathan David, right, and say to him, look, we're in the Champions League, you will get games because Isak cannot play all through the season. But Isak will be gone in a year, you will be number 1 in 12 months' time. Yeah. So get used to the Premier League. Yeah, we're not going to just throw you to the wolves. Get used to the Premier League, play a game here or there. You'll get maybe some cup games, the odd Champions League game, whatever. And then when Isak goes, you will be our number 1. That's what would be an ideal scenario.
Yeah.
You know what would have been ideal for you, man? Delap.
Yeah, I hear it.
Delap would have been ideal for you, Delap.
Yep, that just won the Chelsea for 30 million.
He would, Delap would be a decent option, but again, he wants first team football. He wants to be number 1, which I don't want to why he's going to Chelsea because I said, watch when they go sign another striker, and he's gonna have to fight in his position. See what happens then. Yeah, he should have gone. He would have been great at a team like even Man United or Everton. Yeah, he's going to be number 1 striker. Even if he went to, how old is he? 22?
21,
right?
22.
So go Everton for 2-3 years, yeah, bat it up there, and then go to a bigger team when you're 25, yeah. Because you have all this Premier League experience, whatever. With Chelsea, is he really gonna be Chelsea's number one striker?
Yeah.
They're in the Champions League,
especially in a World Cup year as well, when he wants to try and get into the World Cup squad. It's
Exactly.
crazy. Yeah,
What are you
I'm
doing,
with you.
bro? Yeah.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah. I think Chelsea have made a decision on Jackson, and they're going to sign Delap as their number 2, and they're actually going to go get an actual striker. I think it might even be Gyökeres. When Arsenal finish doing the Sesko madness, they'll go actually sign Gyökeres.
I think so as well.
I can see the meltdown in London, in general, in North London in particular, when Sesko comes to Arsenal and starts slow, and Gyökeres is over at Chelsea banging in goals, 4 or 5 goals. It's going to be a madness. It can be a madness. And slow starts for Arsenal. The Emirates becomes toxic again, like pre-Wenger. Becomes toxic again. Man starting to get fist up, and then he has to get sacked, bro.
I'll tell you, that's probably got until November. I reckon if he has a slow start,
Max,
he's probably got till November, and then that's it. He's done.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I just. So you don't think his legs are not gone in Callum Wilson? He just hasn't been playing. Like, you can train all you want, but that match day intensity is just different.
No, bro. If he's done out here. He runs in jeans, bro. Like he's just not. He's now at that stage where he's just there to try and fight defenders now. Like and I like the guy. Like, he's one of my favorite strikers. That, credit for what he's done for Newcastle. But the brother's been stuck on 49 goals for over a year now. Like, you can't even get. Isak surpassed him and got past 50 within that time, bro. He's out of there. He's not, and he's not gonna get enough football. He deserves to play for. If he played for like a Leeds or a Burnley, be their number 1 striker. Yeah, I think he'd do a job. I think he'd do a job there. Get 10 to 12 league goals, whatever. But he's not gonna get that here at Newcastle, man. It's not.
You need a right back as well, no?
Cover, because we got Tino Livramento, right? So we would need cover because Trippier, we don't know what he's gonna do, whether he's gonna go. But Tino and Hua are fullbacks. They're going to be our fullbacks going forward. So, one of the best fullback pairing that we've got in the league. So we're sorted there. But cover, I'd say we probably, but I don't think that's not a priority. As a right centre back is what we need, because our centre back pairing is very slow. Share needs competition. You can have Botman and Burn on the left, and Share and whoever else on the right. So that's who we're targeting as well. A centre back and a right wing are a priority.
Okay, I hear it. By the way, Wirtz just scored, so the price tag just went up by another 10 million, Scant. It's another 10 million you got to add on to that. So are we up to the 130? 130 million pounds, because, bro, the pressure that's going to come with, I don't think he's ever had to deal with this type of pressure, right? Because no disrespect to Bayer Leverkusen, they're not Liverpool. You know what I mean? And then you become the highest Premier League signing ever. You're playing for Liverpool, title-winning Liverpool. And even if Liverpool don't even win the Premier League next year, right? Fine. But
Chelsea confirmed the Delap signing, by the way.
Yeah, 30 million.
Chelsea could confirm Delap,
They confirmed Delap. See, Chelsea out here making moves. But for Liverpool, every year the Champions League is expected for you, man, right? Like, it's European. Hey, we got it. Premier side. I don't think he's ever had to deal with that type of pressure.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but to me, you could have gone to Bayern, innit? You could have taken the easy route and gone to Bayern, but you've chose to come to Liverpool. So to me, that shows that you've got something about you, innit? Like, you could have just said, all right, just take the step up to Bayern and stay in Germany. But you're saying, I want to come to the Premier League, probably the most watched league in the world, the best players in the world. I want to test myself there. I want to test myself at Liverpool.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, big up to RSV. Say, just to be clear, whoever reported Man United will be offering Mbeumo $250K a week was just a Newcastle fan.
It was actually Alex Crook, the Man United fan. You might want to fact check that one.
So, I mean, if it's not, I can get it. You start at 250. If you really want 180, you don't start at 180, right? If you want 180, you start at 250. You negotiate and let them think they talked you down to 180. That's what you wanted to begin with. And he's on what, 50, maybe 60 at Brentford right now. From that to 180, I mean, you triple your salary. And then last time I checked, Brentford finished way ahead of Man United. So he's taking a step down in the table and he's getting 3 times the money.
To be fair, at the end of the day, if Man United don't do well, then Amron definitely needs to get sacked. Because think about it, they'll be playing 1 game a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So plenty of time on the training field. So you've got no excuse.
But what is the realistically? Listen, I know Man United have got this pull, right? I get it, they're Man United, but what's the appeal for Bremo to go to Man United? Forget Newcastle, anything, but to go to Manchester United.
It's money.
Triple your
That's
salary.
what it is. It's just money.
Exactly.
Like we're saying it, man. It's not. It's not. You can't say yeah, I'll go in there because of the I've seen the project this year and I believe they're going to be challenging. Blah blah blah. Because that's just nonsense. You're going there for the money.
Yeah.
Right.
Same with Cunha. Like Cunha's saying, "Oh, good thing you've gone for the money, bro."
Mm-hmm.
You know where that usually
Realistically,
ends, bro.
yeah. But you think about it. Like Liverpool and Arsenal and probably Newcastle don't offer that sort of like. Well, I know Liverpool don't offer big wages for players when they first come in.
Yeah.
Look at like you earn that wage, innit? You come in for 2 years, you put that work in, and we win stuff, then you get the money.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So that's why Diaz is putting the pressure on, because he's won the Premier League now. So he wants his wages to reflect that.
Yeah.
And Liverpool will honour that. You've done your bit. You won us the league.
Yeah.
And that's the way Liverpool operate.
Yeah. Well, speaking of personal terms, what's the personal terms for Wirtz? Not the fee, but like his wage.
His wages are less than he's going to get at Bayern. It's being reported. So it's less than Salah, less than Van Dijk. It's about 220 maybe.
Don't know that too. Man, that's still big money, you know. Still big.
It's still less than Havertz.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's still less than Havertz.
Sackable.
And Jesus.
Sackable offense. Yeah. Leverkusen ain't even Dortmund. Yeah, that's facts. That's big facts.
And that's what I like about
Liverpool. A week. Oh. What's
what I like about Liverpool? They, you know what? Even though like they're killers, do you know what I mean? Like with trophies and stuff, yeah, they still say, "Listen, nah, we ain't paying you." You know what I mean? Unless you're like creme de la creme, like Salah, and you've been winning trophies for the club. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean, you're gonna start humble settings, and then we'll raise it once you win trophies. Not like, bam, we're giving you this. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You've got to work for that.
Yeah, that's why Liverpool didn't get Sancho, and that's why they didn't get Mason Mount, because they were asking for silly money. And Liverpool's like, nah, you're not getting that of us. Like, if you win stuff, you will. And look, lo and behold, they got Man United, and what have they both done over there?
Yeah, that's a mad one, man. That is a mad one. But right now, and stop me if you heard this before. Manchester United winning the transfer window. Last year it was Xerxes, it was De Ligt, it was Ugarte, it was who else? Euro. They won it. The year before that, it was Mason Mount, it was Højlund, it was the year before that, it was Anthony. So you might always win the transfer window and end up doing the tumble. So
Well, look at the Euro. Liverpool were after Euro, right? So would Real Madrid. So Man United fans saying, "Oh, we beat you to him, blah blah blah. We've got more pull." No, Euro was only on 40 grand. I think 20 grand a week, or whatever it was at Lyon. He's gone to Man United. He's on 140, 150. Liverpool ain't giving you that much. An 18-year-old kid. Liverpool offer you about 50, but you've basically gone to Man United because they're offering more money. He's going to be a good defender. He's going to be a decent defender.
Yeah.
But you're on 140 at 18 years old.
Yeah,
Where's the hunger?
How much is Højlund on? Because that one is worth.
I don't know how much he's on, man.
He is pathetic.
75 million. But the thing is, like, I don't know if you lot listen to the overlap, and I sort of like agreed with what
85.
Paul Scholes was saying. He's like, he's a good striker, but he's too young and raw to be leading the line for Man United.
100%.
And it's not fair to him. And I sort of like, when you sit back and think about it, like, he's right. Like, at Atalanta, he scored, 10 goals or whatever. And then you brought him in saying basically like, oh, he's a new Haaland. And he hasn't really played that much football. He should be learning off an experienced striker like every so now and again play like a certain game. Like, oh,
Yeah.
come on, they're playing like, I don't know, Southampton, right? You'll start this game, boy, and do your thing.
His
And then take
confidence is shot to pieces.
That's what I'm saying. Take him out the limelight and then bring him back again. But it's crazy, man.
Yeah. So, here to there, so I give United credit this time. At least they got a proven Prem production, excluding Mount, who was already broken physically when they got him. Okay, fair. Big up here to there. Raw is polite for shit. Absolutely diabolical. Yeah, he is bad. He is absolutely right. But it is what it is. But yeah, gentlemen, big up. We're only supposed to be on for an hour. I know D-Man promised us an hour and he over-delivered. He overperformed. I know you got to run, my bro. So tell the people where they can find you and what you got coming up, bro.
Yeah, shout me on 90s Mags, your Newcastle United podcast. Myself, Jefferson. No longer AC. He's hung up his boots. But
Nah.
yeah, man, we will be continuing though. We'll continue, but yeah, 90s Mags. You'll find us on the YouTube. Every week we do a show. So yeah, man, and then you can catch me also on the D&D Footy Factory on Top FM 95.5 on a Saturday morning, 10 till 12, talking all things football, man, with myself and Double D and Big Sam. So yeah, man, that's me, man. That's me. Thanks for having me on, man.
Big up, man. Appreciate you. Scats. Tell the people where they can find you, bro. What you got coming up on the red pitch?
You can find me anywhere and everywhere. I just jump on anyone's pod. Anyone needs a little chat, I'm there. Yeah, red pitch. Obviously, Cav's ill at the moment, so shout out to him. Once he's up and about, we'll be dropping some stuff. So shout out to Cav. Get well soon, mate.
Yeah, big up.
Yeah,
man.
big up to Cabs.
Big up to Cab. Brother Abs, tell the people where they can find you, bro.
Yeah, people know where I am already, man. You know what I mean? Waffle.tv. I need to get Scants and D-Man on a bit more, man. Do you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
man? Need to do
Yeah,
a few more panel shows and
man. Just put it in the group when you're ready, man. Just I'm there.
Definitely.
We're there, man. We're there.
Yeah. So you heard it, people. You heard it. All the Mandem channels will be in the title, not the description, because a lot of men say they're going to put the shit in the description and end up, though, it will be in the title. All you have to do is click on it and go subscribe to the 90s Mags magazine. Said Mags. 90s Mag TV, Red Pitch Podcast, Waffle TV. Appreciate your time, people. Big up to the chat. Big up to everyone who checked in. People, like I always say, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time.
Rock up. The intro's hard.
Happy hour.